Welcome back. I'm Jay Fagan with the Mattox Group. Time and time again, we get asked the question, what income for my business is taxable? So we're going to cover the reporting requirements for your income, how you might receive some of that information from your clients and people you do business with, and how you need to report it on your income taxes. So let's get stuck in. First and foremost, quite simply, what is reportable and taxable business income? In short, it's all the income you receive for doing your trade or business, providing goods or services in the market to your clients or customers. Now, each year, a number of businesses receive Forms 1099. That's a report for non-employee compensation, NEC, or the 1099 NEC, or miscellaneous compensation. Generally, if you receive income for rents or other services not reported as a non-employee compensation. This is income paid to independent contractors or to businesses who provide services that are reported, such as fishing proceeds, and again, rent, or services to an attorney. 1099 reporting has been around forever, and for a great number of years, the threshold to receive a 1099 was to be a qualified business, generally a sole proprietor, LLC, or partnership. Incorporated entities don't require 1099s to be filed on their behalf. And it was for all services or goods provided that exceeded $600. And that's still the case for 2025. But in 2026, that threshold has now been increased to $2,000. So if you provide services for less than $2,000 or $600 in 2025, and you're a qualified business, sole proprietor, partnership, LLC, then you're going to require a 1099 to be issued on your behalf to the IRS and provided to you, the taxpayer. However, that doesn't mean the first $600 or the first $2,000 next year is not reportable income. All the income you receive from your clients or customers is potentially taxable income and needs to be reported on your income tax return. For simplicity's sake, we call that in the accounting world, the tax world, gross income. All of the income that comes in from the business is your gross income. That's not necessarily what you're going to be taxed on. At the end of the day, you have expenses for operating your business. And when we take those expenses away from the gross income, we get net income or net taxable profit, if you have any. And we hope that you do. All businesses should generate a profit. That's the reason they're in business. So ultimately, that's what gets reported for your taxable income, but we need to show all of the top line gross income, all of the legitimate business expenses to get to that net number. Because in certain states like California, they tax LLCs on that gross receipts, that gross income. And so again, it's important to know that number. As a caveat, there's a couple of things to know that shouldn't be included in your gross income, but if they are, you can adjust for them. In particular, sales tax or other excise taxes, transportation occupancy tax if you're in the rental space, short-term rental space here in California. Those are pass-through taxes. And so you collect that income from your customer, you collect those taxes and fees from your customer, and you pass them through to the respective tax agency. That is not taxable income to you. Unfortunately, a lot of sole proprietor small businesses tend to report that as gross income. That's okay. You can create the tax that you paid out, the pass-through tax. You can report that as an expense and therefore not pay the taxes. However, in California, if you're an LLC, you're going to get taxed on that gross revenue. So we really encourage you to pull that transient occupancy tax, that sales tax, those excise pass-through taxes out of your gross income and not report them on the tax return so that you don't get taxed on them for income tax purposes. So again, keeping it short here, keeping it simple. Every dollar you receive, whether you receive a 1099 or not, is reportable gross income. You take your expenses off of that, that's your reportable net profit, net taxable income. We have a guide up on our website on a basic chart of accounts, simplified chart of accounts, tax advantage chart of accounts, if you will, and the various tax forms that those line items correspond to. So download that, use that in your business, use that to set up your business reporting. We're going to do a video on that chart of accounts to help you navigate good, clean business books and making sure that your bookkeeping is working for you. So stay tuned for that. As always, thank you for investing your time with me. I'm Jay Fagan with the Mattox Group. If you need any assistance with this or any other issue around your business and you're not already a client, don't hesitate to reach out. How long's it?